get a brand new Toyota Tacoma right now? Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Robmotive. So the big question is, how do you get a brand new shiny Toyota Tacoma right now? Well, at least soon. You know, I've had a lot of questions on the channel about it. I just went through this myself. I have a brand new Toyota Tacoma. It's a 2021, and it's sitting right there. That's the proof right there. So I do have a little bit of experience in this, and I thought I would share it with you. Some of this comes from insight from the dealership themselves, so some good information, I think. Number one, you can get lucky. What do I mean by get lucky? Well, they are still arriving on the lots. You know, they're coming out here and there. There are allocations to the dealerships. I mean, Toyota is still building the Toyota Tacoma. It's just there aren't very many of them. So maybe you show up on just the right day and the Tacoma that you've dreamed about was just unloaded off the truck and you can snag it. Now, the chances of that are probably pretty slim, but it depends on where you live. You know, if you're at a dealership that's in an area where they get tons and tons of trucks allocated to them, particularly the Tacoma, then you might be able to get lucky. But that's not good enough, and it wasn't good enough for me. I wasn't gonna go to the lot and just hope that there was one sitting there. Although I gotta say, I did have that in the back of my mind before I got the one I got. I thought maybe, just maybe, there would be one there. There wasn't. 2, allocation, and this is the key. This is the best way to put your hands on a new Toyota Tacoma relatively quickly. I'll tell you my story. I may have mentioned this in other videos, but I went to the dealership, again, hoping that I didn't have much hope, that there would be one sitting on the lot. Well, there wasn't. So the dealer told me that they did have some coming in. I could put a deposit down on one if I wanted, but that's all that I would be able to get. Now, depends on what region you're in too. You know, where I'm at, they had some allocated and coming. It depends on the mix, what you're looking for. They did have a few different trim levels, but they were primarily white, gray, black, and silver. They're not building any colors, at least not for my region. So he told me that I could grab one on allocation. So that's what I did in essence. I didn't end up putting down a deposit though. I think they were just too busy and they didn't really want to screw with me anymore. But I didn't have to put down a deposit. I just gave them my name. Now, let me say, first of all, that I have bought, I think this is my sixth Toyota from this particular dealership. So they know that I'm not messing around, that I'm not kidding. That might have had a little bit to do with it. So if you have a good relationship with your dealership, if you bought a lot of cars there, you might be able to do it the same way. So I picked one out. While I was standing there, of the 6 or so they had coming in, 2 of them sold right then. People put their names on them. So that dwindled the list down a little bit. I had 4 to choose from. Fortunately for me, there were actually, I think, 2 out of the 4 that were what I wanted, just different colors. So I picked the magnetic gray metallic, which is the one that I wanted, gave them my name, and then it came in. Now, let me tell you, I was told that truck could come in anytime between October 21st and somewhere in November. It was scheduled to be built. It had a VIN number. Everything was good. It ended up coming in way faster than that. It came in before the 21st. So I was pretty happy about that. I was ready to roll. I had demodded my 2020 and we were golden. So that is, in my opinion, the best way, the most assured way you can go to put your hands on a new Tacoma. Number 3, grab an allocation that failed. You know, just because people say they're going to buy something doesn't necessarily mean it's going to go through. Maybe they have credit problems, maybe they get impatient, they change their mind, they buy something else, or maybe they just don't want it anymore. So it's never a bad idea to put yourself on a truck that's coming in, even if it's allocated to somebody else, as a backup. as the second person. You may find that that works. I've heard about it several times. I've heard about people picking up trucks that were allocated, some even built by others, that they were able to grab because that deal fell through for a number of reasons. Again, either they couldn't get financing, they changed their mind, whatever it was. So that is another good way to at least attempt to put your hands on a brand new Toyota Tacoma right now. Number 4, and this is the least favorable for me because it involves the longest time. I'm impatient. I don't like to wait. When I decide I want something, I want it right now. And I did build one. I built my last one, the 2020 Voodoo Blue. If you watch the channel, you've seen it. I built that truck in a manual transmission configuration, and that added some time to it too. Did you know that they only build manuals every 2 to 3 months, and then they don't build them for another 2 or 3 months? I found that out. So I got in right at the beginning of the cycle. So I had to wait the downtime and then the manufacturing time to actually get mine. It took 5 months. Now you can imagine, if you're like me and you're impatient, how grueling that was. It felt like 10 years. I don't know. It took a long, long time. And it really didn't come in early. Although I will say that once the process started and it had a VIN number and it was going to be built, that went much quicker. It actually came in, I think, about a week or 2 earlier than the dealer was projecting based upon what Toyota was telling them. Somewhat similar to the allocation that I had on my 2021 that I just got. So you can build one. Now, there is a caveat to this. It kind of depends right now on the region that you're in. In my region, you can't build anything. They are not allowing orders to be placed. I saw the email from Toyota. They showed it to me where it stated, no new builds. You can only sell what's on allocation. Again, this seems to depend on your region. I am in South Texas. I know that in some of the bigger markets, maybe in the Northeast, maybe in the West, that may not be the case, because I have heard of people claiming, I don't believe they're claiming, they think that they've got an order in on a new Tacoma. I'm a little skeptical of that, because I think there are dealerships out there who will take your deposit knowing full well that you can't build one right now. And then when things do pick up and you actually can build one again, that's when they'll get a hold of you and they'll tell you that it's going to be a 2022 instead of a 2021, which, by the way, costs more money. Pricing went up on the 2022s. I have heard of this a few times, so I know what's happening out there. It's kind of like the old bait and switch thing, right? I don't know. I'd be very cautious, and I would nail the dealer down if they're willing to take your money as a deposit on a new Tacoma. Make sure they commit to what you're getting so that you know they know what they're talking about. Anyway, people have asked on the channel, how do you get a brand new Toyota Tacoma right now? Those are the 4 ways that you can do it. I don't know of any other way to get a Tacoma right now unless you buy used. Leave a comment. Let me know. Do you have one on order? Have you put a deposit down? And how sure are you that you're ever going to get one and that you're going to get what you think you're going to get? I'd be curious to know. Also, real quick, I do have 2 additional channels. Robmotive FST, all about my 2021 Toyota Tundra. And Robmotive JT, all about my 2020 Jeep Gladiator. Check them out, and if you're interested, why not subscribe? Don't forget to click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. And do me a favor, smash that subscribe button on the way out. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.